It's often asked, can seemingly harmless daily habits, common among older adults, subtly complicate their lives? For those aged 65 to 80, this article aims to be a genuine call to awareness. It will explore 5 unexpected aspects many seniors continue to practice. These actions might seem minor or insignificant, yet they actually prevent living your best years with confidence and peace of mind. We're not talking about the well-known advice you've heard countless times. Instead, these are the barely noticeable customs that go unnoticed but subtly shape the aging process, mentally, physically, and emotionally. The goal isn't to condemn, but to help you gain greater strength, wisdom, and control over your time. If you've ever wondered what seemingly simple choices can rob you of joy, independence, or health, keep reading. The insights gained today might help you avoid future regrets. And, notably, the final point often goes completely unnoticed by most. First, holding on to old grudges. One of the most destructive habits people often carry through decades of their lives, well into their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, is stubbornly clinging to old grudges. Whether it's a long-standing family conflict, a friend's betrayal, or a careless, hurtful word from a neighbor, these resentments persist not just in memory, but also manifest physically. Over time, they begin to erode you from within. You might rationalize, but I have every right to be angry. Perhaps you do. However, the truth is the person who caused the pain may have long forgotten the incident. They might not even remember what happened. Meanwhile, the offended person continues to bear this heavy emotional burden, replaying the pain repeatedly. Bitterness doesn't harm the one who caused the offense. It's destructive to the one who harbors it. It poisons the heart, distorts relationships, and can even negatively impact physical health by increasing stress and inflammation. Imagine someone dragging an impossibly heavy suitcase everywhere. At some point, this baggage becomes so burdensome that they can no longer enjoy the journey itself. The energy spent maintaining anger and resentment drains the strength that could be directed towards healing, laughter, meaningful connections, and finding joy in the remaining years of life. Consider the story of a 79-year-old man who hadn't spoken to his sister for over 30 years. Their falling out was over a parental inheritance, and they parted in anger. When asked if he missed her, he replied, "Every day." But pride prevented him from making the call. After a thorough discussion, he finally dialed her number, and that call fundamentally changed things. They didn't resolve all their differences, but they laughed, cried, and finally said what needed to be said. The man later admitted he felt lighter than he had in years. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning the act. It means deciding that your inner peace is more important than the pain you experienced. It's choosing freedom over voluntary imprisonment in the dungeon of resentment. Even if the other party isn't ready for reconciliation, forgiving in your own heart can still bring liberation. Let go, not for them, but for yourself. You've carried this burden for too long. It's time to put it down and continue your journey unburdened. Second, neglecting your appearance. Far too many older adults, unfortunately, fall prey to the mindset of why bother when it comes to maintaining their appearance. They stop properly caring for their hair, choose clothes that no longer fit or suit their style, and pass by mirrors as if their reflection no longer matters. However, the truth is, your appearance still significantly impacts your inner state and self-perception. The moment someone stops caring for their looks often coincides with an internal retreat and a loss of vitality. This isn't about desperately chasing youth or pretending to be someone else. It's about preserving personal dignity and self-respect. When you look in a mirror and see a neat, well-groomed, tidy individual, you remind yourself of your own significance, that you are still relevant in this world and possess enduring value. And with each passing year, this reminder becomes even more crucial. Remember that pleasant feeling after a fresh haircut, or how your mood lifts when you wear a favorite outfit, or simply take time to wash and moisturize your skin. These seemingly minor actions aren't vanity. They're a demonstration of vitality. They send a clear signal to your brain. You are still living, not just existing. And this reflects in everything: your posture, confidence, desire to leave the house, and actively engage with others. A 76-year-old woman once confessed she hadn't worn lipstick in years. "It doesn't matter anymore," she said. But after a friend convinced her to try a shade she used to love, her face literally lit up. "I didn't realize how much I missed myself," she admitted. One tube of lipstick reminded her she was still here, still beautiful, still worthy of attention. Neglecting your appearance often leads to social isolation, low spirits, and feeling like you're fading into the background. But self-care, even in the smallest details, brings you back to life. It tells the world and yourself you're still in the game. So, take pride in your appearance. Wear colors that lift your spirits. Trim your beard. Put on earrings, not to impress anyone, but to honor the amazing life you've lived and continue to live. Third, acting like you're always right. One of the most unpleasant aspects of aging is the feeling of no longer being heard. This is precisely why many older adults develop an overwhelming urge to prove they are right. They start interrupting mid-sentence, flatly dismissing others' opinions, or insisting their way is the only correct one. But do you know what this leads to? Not respect, but to becoming extremely difficult to communicate with. True wisdom isn't about having all the answers. It's about understanding when to speak and when to listen attentively. Wisdom is the ability to accept that the world is constantly changing, and there's always something new to learn. If you cling too tightly to the need to be right, you close the door to new conversations, fresh ideas, and even your own personal growth. And the worst part is, you push people away without realizing it. There's nothing wrong with having strong opinions. You have decades of experience behind you, and your voice truly deserves attention. But if every conversation turns into an argument about who's smarter, it exhausts those around you. Over time, people simply stop engaging with you. Not because you're wrong, but because it's too hard to have a dialogue with someone unwilling to concede anything. An 81-year-old man was as intelligent as ever, but terribly lonely. His daughter said, "He's brilliant, but he always has to be first." Over time, friends stopped visiting, grandkids avoided calls, and he couldn't understand why. But when he finally let go of the need to be the smartest person in the room, everything changed. He started listening more, laughing more often, and reconnected with the people he had missed so much in his life. Being wise doesn't mean correcting everyone around you. It means having the grace to sometimes stay silent, to let others speak without interruption, to allow your children or grandchildren to teach you something, even if you already know it. Sometimes, people just need to be heard, not corrected. Humility is a quiet strength, and the older you get, the more you appreciate it. So, let go of the need to always be right. Choose connection over argument, and you'll notice people gravitate towards you again. Not because you changed your views, but because you opened your heart. Fourth, refusing to try new things. As we age, it's easy to fall into the trap of routine. We eat the same meals, watch the same shows, and interact with the same people, if we interact at all. Familiar surroundings can certainly provide comfort, but they can also subtly drain your energy and joy. Refusing new experiences is one of the most underestimated mistakes older adults make. And unfortunately, they often realize it too late. Life doesn't stop being interesting after 65. On the contrary, this stage can be one of the most free and fulfilling. There are no more bosses, no young children to raise, and no need to prove anything to anyone. But if you stop exploring the world, you begin to narrow its boundaries. Your conversations become monotonous. Your social circle shrinks, and your mind loses flexibility. New experiences don't have to be grand or expensive. It could be something simple: learning to use a tablet, walking a new route, signing up for a watercolor class at a local community center, or joining a weekly social group. The point isn't what you do, it's that you try something new. Your brain, like your muscles, weakens without regular exercise. If you get stuck in old habits day after day, not only does your memory fade over time, but your self-confidence also disappears. You start doubting your own abilities, avoiding change, and imperceptibly, fear becomes your normal state. A widow in her 70s, who had never held a smartphone, received one as a gift from her grandson, who offered to teach her how to use it. At first, she resisted, saying, "That's for young people." But one day, she decided to try. Within months, she was sending voice messages, ordering groceries online, and even video calling her old school friends. She said she felt alive again, not because the phone was special, but because she proved to herself that she was still capable of growing. You're never too old to be curious. The moment you say, "That's not for me," you begin to draw boundaries around your world. But these boundaries can turn into a real cage. Open the door, say yes to something new, not because you have to, but because you can. You're still here, and that means life is still ready to surprise you. Fifth, acting like you don't need help. One of the most dangerous habits many people over 65 begin to develop is pretending they can handle everything on their own. Whether it's pride, fear of being a burden, or an unwillingness to acknowledge their age, too many older adults suffer in silence, mistakenly believing that asking for help is a sign of weakness. But, refusing to accept help isn't strength. It's a hidden form of self-sabotage. You've lived a long life, raised children, worked hard, endured losses, and overcome countless difficulties. You've earned the right to lean on others when necessary. Yet, for some reason, many older adults believe asking for help is a sign of failure. They don't tell their doctor about new symptoms, try to climb ladders themselves, drive when their vision is failing, or carry heavy bags even if their knees protest. And too often, this ends in falls, health problems, or avoidable stress. Asking for help isn't giving up. It's taking control of the situation. It's a display of wisdom. It means you care enough about yourself and those who love you to stay safe, healthy, and connected. You are not a burden. You are valuable to your family and friends. And when you allow them to help, you don't lose independence. You strengthen it. There's another important point. When you reject help, you deny others the opportunity to feel needed. Think about it. People, especially younger ones, want to be useful to you. When your daughter offers to buy groceries, your neighbor to help with yard leaves, or your grandchild to fix your computer, your yes builds bridges. It gives them a sense of purpose and the warmth of being cared for. Take, for example, a 74-year-old man. He always used to fix everything himself. But last year, after a bad fall from a ladder, he finally asked his nephew to help him clean the gutters. Not only did they get it done safely, but they also went to lunch afterward and grew closer. One simple yes turned into something more: trust, connection, and a reminder that we don't have to go through life alone. You've proven your strength many times. Now, prove your wisdom. No one to say, "Yes, I could use some help." It doesn't make you weaker. It makes you wiser, more connected, and truly stronger. Final thoughts. At this stage of life, you deserve more than just comfort. You deserve clarity. And sometimes, clarity means pausing to notice the things we continue to do out of habit, fear, or stubbornness. Each topic we discussed today might seem minor on its own, but together, they shape the life you wake up to every morning. If you're between 65 and 80, it's not too late to change course. In fact, now is the perfect time. Aging doesn't mean you're forever stuck in your ways. It means you've gained wisdom. And wisdom is the ability to reflect, adapt, and grow. So, when we talk about stopping these foolish habits, we're not accusing anyone. We're simply shining a light. A light on those habits that subtly steal your energy, confidence, and joy. And once you see them clearly, you can do something about it. Each of us has invisible habits that weigh us down more than we realize, but you don't have to carry them forever. The moment you notice one, you can let it go and feel lighter. And then something amazing happens. You start smiling more, breathing easier, sleeping more peacefully. You remember what it's like to enjoy life, not just live it. Ask yourself which of these habits you consider insignificant, and what will happen if you finally let it go. This simple realization, this moment of honesty, that's where freedom begins. You still have so much life ahead of you. You must decisively stop outdated habits, rigid beliefs, or misplaced pride from stealing the precious moments of your existence. On this path of self-discovery and transformation, you are by no means alone. There are others, equally wise, thoughtful, and genuinely striving for a more carefree and truly joyful existence. It is in this forward movement, step by step, that we are ready to provide comprehensive support, accompanying you at every stage.